Mental health is a stationary necessity in the human mind. HHS.gov, the Department of Health states, many adolescents experience positive mental health, but an estimated 49.5% of adolescents have experienced a mental health disorder at some point in their lives. However, this percentage can easily be diminished if young adolescents would invest more of their time in pursuing physical activity, either for their own benefit or for striving in reaching and succeeding personal achievements. Basic advantages that physical health brings are risk for health issues, engaging in learning time management skills, and additionally it helps the human body strengthen and firm muscle mass. Physical activity should be implemented into the young minds of today's society as a fundamental asset. Taking part in athletics provides a sense of discipline and sets an individual up for success, being programmed to a follow-up routine and engaging in productive behavior. Good afternoon, I'm Ana Comenares, and today I will be presenting the positive impact that physical health holds on academic performance. Dr. Daniel Magistro, a lecturer and researcher at Nottingham Trent University, proved the present study examined how the incorporation of physical activity, bouts within mathematic lessons affects cognitive function and motor skills, and the development across 2 years in primary school children. This shows a positive correlation between physical activity and mental health and the impact it holds on academic performance. Academic performance is an important part of students' lives. It helps them get into better colleges and gives them brighter opportunities. Without all these factors, students still have increasing levels of improved academic performance. With this information, I was able to come up with my research question. To what extent does being physically active improve the mental health of young students, ultimately improving their grades at school? After conducting much research, I concluded that physical activity should be implemented into the young minds of today's society as a fundamental asset. Reductions of distractions such as mental disorders, body image, and feelings of exhaustion help liberate space for the mind to focus on required obligations. Connection between physical activity, mental health, and academic performance. To put things into perspective on how physical health rotates in a cycle with academic performance has to do with an individual's state of mind. Depression and anxiety release. To illustrate in which physical activity can significantly improve mental health in young students is by reducing stress and anxiety levels. According to a study published in the Journal of Youth and Adolescence, regular physical activity can significantly reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression in young students. It has been proven that maintaining forms of exercise is a great asset known to cope with anxiety and depression. Another study published in the Journal of School found that students who engage in regular physical activity have better stress coping mechanisms and are less likely to experience stress-related illnesses. With the help of reduced levels of stress, it opens the larger possibility to a shift of focus. And it liberates more space to invest in study times. Furthermore, physical activity improves mental health by enhancing cognitive function. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, which helps improve cognitive function, including memory, attention, and information processing. Cognitive function allows for the brain to expand its capability of knowledge, and it ultimately increases neuron cell numbers and survival and increases the volume of the hippocampus, a region of the brain that is important for creating new memories. Researchers found that exercise improves cognitive function in young students. It also enhances their ability to learn and retain information. If students applied a portion of their daily schedule to being physically active, this would lead to the neurons inside their body system being altered and begin to provide assistance in the control center inside their brain. Presented above is an infographic to show better understanding on the correlation between physical activity and cognitive function and how it stimulates and producing executive functions. Self-esteem and upbringing confidence. Physical activity improves mental health by promoting social interaction and reducing feelings of isolation. This is derived from a study published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health. Students who engage in physical activity are more likely to form social connections and feel a sense of belonging. Records show how young mind being brought out to perform new tasks and going after new challenges provides a sense of confidence and self-concept, defined as feelings of one's personal self-worth, reflecting a person's evaluation of his or her own worth. By obtaining a broader mentality over one's own image caused by staying physically intact, it can help individuals' thoughts and opinions about themselves, ultimately driving them to achieve self-assurance and feel more confident. Being surrounded in an environment filled with high stamina activity and promotion over overall health leads to an influence of responsibility and accountability over one's own personal health and self-concept. This is beneficial to a school setting for situations such as decision making, establishing new challenges, and forming new connections, and improving self-esteem, potentially leading to better academic performance, as students are more likely to participate in classes and face challenges. Greater sleep patterns. Regular physical activity can regulate sleep patterns, leading to improved sleep in quality and duration. Many types of exercise produce a level of vigorous workouts. This means workouts that may potentially bring an individual's heart rate from in a costume 50 to 60% to an approximate range of 70 to 85%. Physical activity promotes improved sleep patterns based on the endorphins released upon finishing an exercise. Endorphins escape the pituitary gland and result in an individual feeling a mix of exhaustion and fatigue. Assisting with sleep helps you think more clearly, have quicker reflexes, and focus better. Stated by Dr. Meryl Mittler, a sleep expert and neuroscientist at NIH. Sleep services all aspects of our body in one way or another: molecular energy balance, as well as intellectual function, alertness, and mood. Mittler speaks on how sleep is the foundation of a functioning day. The study proceeds to describe how a good night's sleep is influential to the way the human body impairs their spaced out hours of functioning. The more duration of deep sleep impairs high levels of reasoning, problem solving, and attention to detail. These combinations of characteristics are all useful in activities involving duration of time, attention time spans, when learning in a class environment, and a shift in state of mind to maintain a pleasant humor throughout a school day. Here's a graph that I added so you guys get a better visual of when you go up by grades, 10th, 11th, and 12th, how much they proceed in physical activity, light, moderate, vigorous, and the statistical proof of how the numbers keep on rising. Involving physical activity into teenagers' daily routine is crucial to initiate in the world today. The extended time this issue has been reported. For example, a study published a decade ago begs the question of how great of an impact remarks of physical activity bring adolescents. Regular physical activity can reduce high levels of stress brought upon disorders such as depression, and it can potentially promote social interaction, leading to a boost in self-esteem. It also promotes a significant difference in sleeping patterns. These findings highlight the importance of promoting physical activity in schools and creating a culture of physical activity among young students. For the future, this could potentially mean lower percentages of young students facing struggles involving mental health disorders such as forms of anxiety. It could also undoubtedly create a form of security and confidence in the upcoming generation once physical activity is established into their systems. This theory could also mean future studies will show higher levels of sleep quality due to exhaustion that performing physical activity brings the human anatomy. This is my work cited. Thank you. Any questions?
First question, what evidence did you gather that you didn't use, and why didn't you use it?
Some evidence that I gathered was a counterclaim. I chose not to use it because I believe that it didn't support my case, and it also wasn't strong enough to be implemented into my presentation.
Okay, and what might be real-world consequences of your findings?
A real-world consequence for my findings could be parental students, or maybe even figures in power not taking this physical activity as a crucial a crucial asset, and if it's not applied by people in power, then it won't be applied in my theory it won't be applied into schools.